Hey guys, Faisal here. Welcome back to another episode of making a mobile app using React Native and Snack. So in the previous episode we went ahead and created a Snack account and got our environment set up. In this episode what we're going to do is go ahead and start making the app. So first things first, let's restructure the code a bit. We're going to get rid of some of this imports. So there's this import card from React Native paper and import asset example. Let's get rid of that. Now there'll be an error, so inside of the view, let's get rid of that as well. And on the top where it says import React, let's just do, get rid of the start as, and then do import React, and then curly brackets and use state. So imports is kind of the blood and life of React, especially React Native. And what we can do with imports is bring in other code components from different files and different packages and use them within this file here. Now for example, we've got a few imports which is coming from React Native, so what we'll do is just refactor that, bring in a few more. So just going to get rid of these and let's start from the beginning. We're going to bring in text, safe area view, style sheet, text input, view, pressable, flat list, image background, keyboard avoiding view, platform, status bar, and touchable without feedback. That's it. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Touchable without feedback. That's it. So I'm just going to hit prettier and I'll make it a nice list. So we'll need these imports, and as we're using them I'll explain what each of them do. So where it says our return, I'm going to get rid of the view, and what we'll do is in here we'll put an image background. So as you saw in the demo app at the beginning in the previous episode, we had a background and there was an image. So this component will allow us to select a picture and display it as the background of our app. Now to do that we'll need to go to our project, click the ellipse and click import files. Now we will want to go ahead and drop in a background here. So I've got a background that I'm going to use, but I'll provide this in the description below. Feel free to use any background you want. So there is app.bg.hd. Once it comes in, let's go ahead and just drag it into assets. Ideally you want to put your images and public stuff inside of assets. Now that we've done that, we'll go ahead and import two more things. So the first one is we're going to import ion icons, and that is from @expo/vector icon/ion icons. Now the code will say this doesn't exist, this dependency doesn't exist, so at the bottom just click add dependency, and what that's going to do is add it to our package.json. So we already have expo vector icons, it's going to also add expo vector icons ionicons. And next we're going to do const image is equal to require, and we're going to select the image we just imported, which is /assets and an app.bg.hd. So /assets, / is how we access the root directory, which is everything inside of project, and then we can start accessing each folder in there or file. So once we've done that, inside of image background we want to provide a source. So this source is going to be equal to our image that we just imported. So once we do that, you can see real time it's just updated there. Let's go ahead and run on iOS as well, let that run in the background. So once we've done that, what we also want to do is provide a resize mode. So this resize mode tells us how we want to display the picture. In our case we're going to do the cover. We want to cover the whole screen and we don't want it to stretch or anything. So save that, and then let's add a style for it. So let's get inside of our styles equals style sheet. So style sheet is where we create our actual styles to actually design the app and make it look nice. What we'll do here is we create a style and we'll call it flex. and this one will just have flex of 1, and we'll provide that style to our image background. So do style is equal to styles.flex, and what flex does is it takes up the full height of the screen, and yeah, so it just takes up the full height of the screen. So once we've done that, let's also bring in keyboard avoiding view. So a keyboard avoiding view allows us to prevent the keyboard from covering our text inputs in case it ever does. In an app like this, it won't, because our inputs can be at the top anyways, but if you wanted to put the input near the bottom, you can then make it so that our keyboard doesn't actually cover that. So once we've done that, let's add one thing inside of it, and that is our status bar. So what is a status bar? Status bar is the information on every phone. Actually, we can do this as a self-closing tag. So status bar is every information on the top of our phones. You can see we can't currently see the time because it's black, and what we can do is we can provide the status bar a theme. So we can say bar style is equal to curly brackets and single speech marks like content, and what that should do is now turn your text white, yeah, so to fit on a dark background. And one thing we'll do just for Android users is background color is equal to curly brackets, and we'll provide a background color. So on Android you can actually change the color of the status bar. On iOS you can't, but on Android you can, and that'll be 03. So we're going to pick that. That's like a dark purple, just to match the same background color as the image. You can choose any color you want. And one more thing, in our keyboard avoiding view, we now need to tell it how to respond when it does cover a input component. So we'll do behavior is equal to platform.os, and then if platform.os is equal to iOS, then we want to do a padding behavior, else a height behavior. Now platform.os tells us what operating system is being used, and we're essentially saying if it is an iPhone, make it so it uses padding, else if it's anything else, just use the height. And then we'll also provide this a style, and we'll provide it a style of styles.flex, just like that. Okay, and then under our status bar, let's go ahead and bring in a touchable without feedback component. So touchable without feedback, just like that. So this is essentially a button that has no styles, no feedback. It literally has nothing at all whenever you click it, right? So that means it's an unstylized button, and you can make it look exactly as you want. In our case, we don't want to style it at all anyways. We want to just provide it an on press of keyboard.dismiss, and what that'll do is every time we click on the main screen, it's going to dismiss the keyboard. That way the keyboard doesn't always stay there, right? And then now we're getting an error because we don't have any components inside of it, so we're going to add our safe area view, just like that. And a safe area view creates essentially a view so your components don't go to the top of this screen. So if we were to put a text component here just to demonstrate, we put hello, so you can see we can't see that. Let's just do style is equal to color, like that. So you can see the text hello is sitting just under the status bar. If we were to get rid of the safe area view, it will no longer sit under there and actually sit on top of the status bar. So as you can see, hello is gone all the way at the top. So that's why we need a safe area view, to make sure that it sits under the status bar. So once we've done that, let's create a container styles for that component. So we'll do container, just like that. And inside of here, we want to go ahead and put margin horizontal. So that's on the left and right axes. put down 20. So on the left and right margin, it'll do 20 pixels, and then we'll do flex 1. Flex 1 like that, and also we'll do margin top. And what we're going to do is constant dot status bar height plus 20, and we'll set that as the style for the safe area view. Style is equal to styles.container. Oops, sorry, I've called it constants, not constant, constants. Okay, so that'll add a bit of padding on the top. And let's go ahead and bring in our other components. So the first thing we're going to bring in is a view. So let's do view like that. And inside of the view, so this is going to be our search bar. So we want to go ahead and do a text input. Well, not search bar, so this is our input bar, which we're gonna put our to-dos in. So we want a text input like that. Don't worry about styling it just yet. And then once we've done that, let's go ahead and do a pressable. And a pressable is very similar to a touchable without feedback. It's a button that allows you to stylize it how you want. It has no styles to begin with, and then inside of the pressable we're going to put an icons. So that is the package we imported, and this allows us to add an icon from that package. So we're going to provide the name and do add dash sharp, give it a size of 32, and we give it a color of F5, F5, F5. So now you can see there's the plus symbol, and that is our plus button, and that's what, when we click it, that's what's going to actually be adding to-dos to the list. So once we brought that in, let's go ahead and just under the view we'll bring in another component, and that will be another view, just like that. And then we want to bring in our flat list, and flat list is like that. So this is essentially the main structure of our app. This is essentially everything we need for in terms of the components for this input bar to add a to-do, and the flat list will display our to-dos. At the moment it doesn't look amazing. You can see the input bar is here, it's just invisible. In the next episode we're going to go ahead and start stylizing everything, and the styles is what's going to actually improve the app and make it look much better. So thanks for watching guys. Leave a like if you liked the video, and hit subscribe if you want to see more.